Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video about quarantine. Exactly. So I'm here today to talk about quarantine because there's nothing else to talk about. So yeah, I'm here today to provide some useful, not useful, helpful, not helpful advice for people who are struggling with what to do during quarantine. And I'm not talking about like things to do because like I'm like the worst person in the entire world for that, but just some general tips and advice for people who are just feeling a bit lost because, like, let's be honest, this is like the weirdest thing ever. Like, what the hell? I just think that I wanted to, if I could help somebody, even one person, try and make sense of this situation and make it a little bit more normal, then that's what I'm going to do. Before we start, I'm not that girl who's trying to be disrespectful or insulting to people who really struggle. I'm not trying to act like these, silly little ideas are going to make everything better. That's not what I'm trying to do. I am not the girl who is like, oh my god, just go for a run around the block, hun, because that will cure your depression. It will. I'm not that girl at all, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be helpful. So if anybody can get some kind of helpful advice from this, then I will have succeeded in my mission. So first things I'm going to say is keep a routine. Without a routine, my life falls apart. And I'm not talking like general stuff. I'm talking like I don't take medication, I don't eat meals, I don't brush my hair, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same. So what I do every morning is I wake up, I set my alarm, first of all, for 8:30 in the morning. And I wake up, go downstairs, and I have breakfast because that is what's normal for me. Before I went to work, every morning I would wake up at a similar time, go downstairs and have my breakfast. If you wake up at 11 and you don't have anything to eat, then do that, because if that's what's normal, then that's what's gonna, make this whole thing easier, in my opinion. So yeah, just maintaining some kind of routine, some kind of structure to your life. One big piece of advice I would suggest is basing your day around your meals. This seems pretty obvious, but I feel like people forget, because it's so easy to forget during this time because it's a weird time and nobody knows how they feel about it. So if I eat at 9 o'clock in the morning, then I know I need to eat again at 1, 2 o'clock, and I need to eat again at 5, 6 o'clock, and if I base my day around my meals, then in my opinion, it makes filling the gaps in between a lot easier. So yeah, that's like a really useful one for me. So if I wake up at 8:30 and I have my breakfast at 9, I just have to fill those couple of hours before I'm back in the kitchen making something yummy to eat. What was I talking about? So number 2 is breaking your day up. Everybody knows that I like to exercise, so I put my workout in the middle of my day, so it splits my day into 2 halves. So it makes so much more sense to me. I'm not a morning person. I can't work out in the morning anyway, because it's just not gonna happen. And I think if you do your workouts in the morning, if you've got nothing else to do for the day, then that's it, your day's done. Like, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? And that's when you start getting bored. So if you break up the day into 2 halves, and not at 12 o'clock, because that's early. If you break up the day and you do something around 4 or 5, then you're like, oh, I need to eat. And then, I should probably shower, like, let's be honest. And then you need to chill out for a bit, and then it's bed. A lot of people on Instagram and Twitter who've been like, oh my god, my new sleep schedule is like 5 a.m. till 2 p.m. And it's so easy to fall into a bad sleeping pattern. But I think if you can establish some kind of routine and normality, that's gonna help with that. Given the extra time that you've got, and you're looking, if you are actively looking for things to cure your boredom, try looking for stuff that you've never thought of doing before. Like for me, I just don't like cooking because I can't cook. Anybody who knows me knows that I can't cook, so I don't like it. But I'm gonna try and use this extra time to become better at cooking, because it's a great skill to have, like, let's be honest. Yeah. Oh, what's I saying? Even if it's not something useful, like finger painting or, you know, knitting or photography, but like in the house, like if you are looking for things to cure your boredom, try something that you've never like bothered about. Like, I'm not a serious gamer, like I'm not bothered about games, but I've wanted a Nintendo Switch since it came out, but I've been saving for travelling, but obviously that's not happening anymore. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna get one. So I got myself a Nintendo Switch, and if it's not a horrendously overpriced purchase and totally out of character, it's something to do. Do you know what I mean? This is not applying. I'm not saying you have to do anything. If you just want to sit about because that's what's making you happy, then do that, honey. You do you, boo. Another one, just some little not ideas, but some little, like, serious, is stay in touch with family and friends, because I've got a few friends who are going into recluse because it's affecting people differently and people don't know how to deal with it. Which is totally understandable. I just think staying in touch with family and friends makes you feel less alone. It makes you feel less like you're, you know, grounded and not allowed to go outside and see your mates, you know. And I've seen a lot of people who are doing like pub quizzes with their friends, and they're going on group FaceTime and all getting bev together, which I think is the best thing ever. Like, I love that, and I think if you can stay in touch with your friends and your family and keep that line of communication open, please do, because it's going to be so beneficial for your well-being, honey. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea of the whole video. The last thing I wanted to say is that don't be hard on yourself. Like, this is affecting everybody in some kind of way, you know. The dynamic of life for everybody is just like, I can't get the words out, man. Like dynamic of life has changed so dramatically for so many people, and this has never happened before in our lifetime. You are not expected to know what to do. I'm not expecting anyone to know how to deal with this. I don't know one person who does know how to deal with this. The bottom of it is if you want to feel something, that is totally natural and valid. And I have another video on my Instagram, explaining that bad days are gonna happen. You're not perfect. If you don't want to spend this time doing something productive, don't. I've seen so much stuff on Twitter and Instagram, like, if you don't use this time to progress your business, then you're not disciplined. I think it's all crap. Like, this is a global pandemic. It's an international emergency. It's not a holiday. It's not like the Easter holidays, do you know what I mean? Like, you haven't got homework. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you feel right. Life has stopped for a lot of people, and I just think, don't put that pressure on yourself. You do whatever it takes to make you feel good about the situation. If none of that applies to you, don't do it. I'm not saying take my advice. Don't do it. Do what is easy and what is positive and what is going to make you feel better. And as always, I'm here to talk for anybody, even if you hate me, because this is a really, really hard time for everybody. And I just want people to know that I am here to help if anybody needs it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it made sense. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, you know the dealio. Leave comments, be nice, give me hate, whatever, don't care. Well, exercise, look after yourself, because we'll make it through this. We will get through this. You will get through this. Right. I'm out.